Welcome back to the Cricket Today podcast. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. No Leo today. He's somewhere in Europe. I don't know if he's alive, but we do have Marcus Bazzano, Kolkata's #1 fan after the IPL. He's very excited. How you going, Marcus?
I am. Leo's ditched us. I'm a little bit sad, but KKR lifted my spirits. They knew they were going to win.
I'm actually filthy.
I've backed them. They got the best name in the tournament.
The best name, Kolkata Knight Riders? Is that the best name?
Knight Riders is a slick name.
Yeah, you got the Super Giant. What else have you got? Yeah, the Giant. I don't know. Yeah, it might be the best name.
Yeah.
Our Sunrisers, unfortunately, couldn't get the job done. My Sunrisers got absolutely smashed.
Crumbled.
I watched the start of it. I'm like, this is an absolute whitewash. This is horrible. Stark again in the final, which we're going to talk about him in the World Cup. So yeah, he's been
well
awesome
in the final series. So hopefully he can bring that into this 2020 World Cup. But you know what? It's 2020 World Cup time, Stats Guy.
It is T20 World Cup time. We're very excited. Starts this weekend. Canada USA actually getting us underway, which I didn't think I would say in cricket in general, really. But it's awesome. 20 teams, huge build up to the tournament with the World Cup finishing. Just getting underway. So let's break down all 4 groups with group order, standout player, and some big calls, which we're very excited to get around. Before we start, make sure you get around the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. We love subscribe. We get around the bell, like, everything on YouTube.
Yep.
We're trying to, what is it, road to 1,000? Is that our next road?
Yeah, road to 1,000. We're on about like 530 or 40, so make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, nice. All right. Let's get right into it. Everyone wants to talk about the World Cup at the moment. So let's start with Group A. Probably the most exciting group, I think, because you've got India and Pakistan in there. But then you've got Ireland, Canada, and USA. So let's have a look. Top 2, group order. Where are you starting with this one, Marcus?
Look, this group is so exciting, but there's also a lot of unknown
there is.
in this group.
Yeah.
But India-Pakistan is no doubt going to be the best game of the group stages, I believe. Or it could even be the best game of the tournament.
Yeah.
But it's no surprise that I've got those 2 in my top 2 progressing.
Yep.
I've gone India edging it just against Pakistan. I just think the fact that majority of the Indian players are playing IPL cricket, they've been playing that format for a lot longer. Their mindset's in 2020 mood. Whilst Pakistan have really only had a couple of warm-up series against Ireland.
Yeah, and then Pakistan, obviously they don't play in IPL, and they're not as they don't have as many T20 specific guys, but I still think they'll go.
They're still very capable.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go India first, Pakistan second. Do you want me to go through my top 5 now, or are you going to go through your top 2?
We'll go top 2, and then we'll go through the rest. So we'll go through our top 2 from each group to qualify. So I'm going to go Pakistan first, which I'll get into my big call. Pakistan first, and then India second.
Yep.
Which will cause a bit of controversy. It'll cause a bit of controversy, but I just think there's a lot of guys in there in that Pakistan team that will actually surprise, and they're starting to hit the form at the right time.
Yep.
We're both agreeing that those 2 will go through. I think that's pretty obvious when you've got 2 of the best teams in the world going head to head. All right, what's your order after that for this group?
Well, I've gone Ireland in third. I think they can actually. Could they even cause an upset against Pakistan? You never know.
Maybe. Pakistan is so inconsistent in these tournaments.
They did it in the warm-up series. So
they did.
So why not? And then I've gone USA 4th, Canada 5th. I just think America, they've also shown a little bit in the warm-up series. And Canada, not really expecting much, but I've got a feeling you're going to go a little bit similar.
I'll go the same. I think we're pretty different in some of the other ones, but this one I'm going the same. Ireland third. Like you said, they did beat Pakistan, which is unbelievable. I don't know how that is a bit of a joke by Pakistan.
Did they beat him in 2 games?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe just double check that. USA have also beaten Canada, I think, the last 5 times, so that's an easy one to chuck into 4th. And then Canada, very, very new to international cricket. You've got USA, who have Corey Anderson, which we've talked about, coming over from New Zealand. He's got the international experience, but Canada just don't have that edge, I don't think, so they're going to be last. Sure. Both USA and Canada are just looking to get a win, I think. Ireland have had
100%.
pretty experience in these sort of tournaments, but USA and Canada have never been in it. So.
Yeah, I think Ireland will win 2 games.
Okay.
Pakistan 3, India 4, and then obviously it's whoever wins out of Canada and USA. America.
Yep. But I think
is that a bit of a cricketing rivalry now?
Well, there is because as well, the US captain
Drake versus Kendrick?
Yeah, Drake. How did you even think of that? Yeah, maybe. Is Drake and Kendrick following the cricket? I don't know. Over there. They might be in New York watching the matches.
Get on it.
But US captain is actually the ex-Canada captain because he can play for both. So I think they actually do hate each other. So that'll be a really interesting match. Opening match.
Or they just hate him.
Or they hate him. I don't know. But that will be a really interesting match to watch on the opening. But we're going India, Pakistan.
Just had a quick look here. Ireland won that first game against Pakistan, but then lost the series 2-1.
But
to be fair, Ireland scored 183, 193, and 178 in those games. So winnable competitive scores.
I don't know if that's bad on Pakistan or Ireland. I think Ireland have improved the last couple of years.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yep. Next one we're going to have a look at. Standout player. Pretty obvious, but who are you going for this one?
I'm going to go Virat Kohli.
Yep.
I think it's hard to look past him in his IPL form at the moment. Look, I know
Unbelievable.
Leo says we don't want to have a look through IPL form and take it into the 2020
you
World
got
Cup.
to take it into T20s, I think, yeah.
He did say he's the hottest man at the World Cup coming in the short format of the game.
Yep.
And they're not talking about his batting either.
No.
So
he's just a good-looking man. Yeah.
He is. He's got that like tattooed beard, sort of. It's very refined.
I reckon he has a grey beard and he might paint it like some NBA
it's
players
too hot in India. It'll start dripping. I think it'll start dripping. Well, yeah, I'm going to go Virat Kohli. He was by far the top run scorer in the IPL. And
yep.
He's made for the big occasion.
Yeah, don't mind that. I'm going to go Rizwan. Mohammad Rizwan. Yeah. I think on this show, we love to talk about Bazzano, but in the T20 format, I'm just going to get up his stats in a second. He's awesome. He averages 49.7 in T20 internationals. He's played 97 T20 internationals. He's still almost averaging 50. You got a 130 strike rate, which is pretty solid. A guy that you need in the top order just to sort of anchor an innings, and he's going to be perfect for that. I reckon he'll be right up there with the top run scorers. He's going to make a bulk of his runs, I think, against Ireland, USA, and Canada.
Yep.
But he has made some 50s against India as well, so he's going to be my standout player.
He's actually third in the 2020 batting rankings.
Oh, okay. Who's first?
And Bazzano is fourth.
Oh, okay. So they got two of the top four.
They got two of the top four. Sky Yadav is number one.
Ooh, okay.
And then Phil Salt number two.
Phil Salt number two. That is crazy, right? He dominated for England last year. We will get into him, but I used to think he didn't have a good technique at all. But you don't need a good technique if you've got a good hand-eye.
That is very true. No Australians in the top 10.
But I think we're more well-rounded as a team as Aussies rather than some of the India and Pakistan teams. Yeah. So that's why they're not in the top five. All right. So we've gone Kohli and Rizwan. We're just going India versus Pakistan here. And I think we've gone talking about India and Pakistan again in the big calls. How can we not? What's your big call?
Well, we're going to probably do a live stream for this game. So make sure you're subscribed because this is going to be a good game.
It'll go off,
I'm going to go Bazzano to make a half century against India.
Oh, really? He's made a couple before against India, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He has to have done. He's done it against everyone.
Yeah.
He's one of the best batters in
What's his best shot again? Cover drive?
Yeah, the cover drive is silky.
Yeah.
It's very slick. But you're gonna go Pakistan focused big call as well.
Well, I already said that, but Pakistan to top the group. I think India like the favourites or second favourites to win the whole thing, but I think they're going to come second in this group. Pakistan in T20 specifically have a really good record against India, so I reckon they can beat India, and then they'll, again, like you said, Ireland had some pretty close games. Well, I think once it comes to tournament time, Pakistan will lift and they'll be like, all right, we'll get moving here, and I think they can finish top. And yeah, if they beat India, it's like their biggest rivals. I think if Pakistan or India win that match, it's almost more exciting for them than winning the whole thing. They just want to beat each other.
Bragging rights. India have notoriously sort of dominated Pakistan in recent meetings, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about 2020.
I think in definitely one days and tests. In 2020s, it's pretty even. But because obviously the last T20 World Cup, Pakistan made the final. I went to that at the G, which was awesome.
Yeah. And then they also made the final in the previous one. Against Australia.
Yes. So
and lost both. So.
Yeah. India and Pakistan aren't good in finals.
So India and Pakistan, it's in their blood to lose in the finals.
It is. But they could have a decent tournament. Can either of those teams win it all? Maybe. Maybe possibly India.
India win the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think both of them have the potential to.
Okay.
It's just whether they can deliver in the final.
Yep. And not rely on Kohli.
India have the best win percentage out of any nation in 2020 formats.
Really?
67%.
Ooh.
So I think both of them are capable.
Okay, there we go. So that's Group A, India, Pakistan to go through in that one. Let's go Group B. You got Australia, England, Namibia, Scotland, and Oman. Really exciting group. We're talking about the Aussies. Are we both just saying they're going to finish on top of this group? I think.
Yeah. I can't put it in me to say England will top this group. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
You hate England too much. Yeah. I think we're both going. What are we both going? Australia, England, top two.
Yeah.
I think that's not obvious, because a lot of people could say that England have more T20 specific players, but Australia
could easily go England in a one-off game.
Yeah. But I think Australia just, with the form in these tournaments, they just play so well. You got Stark coming off the IPL. The first 3 quarters of the IPL, everyone's going, what's wrong with Mitchell Stark?
Up until the playoffs.
Yeah.
He was shocking.
And then he just lifts for the big moments. So even Zampa wasn't too good in the Big Bash, for example, but he killed it in the ODI World Cup.
Yep, he took 3 wickets this morning against Namibia, but still.
Yeah, against Namibia, that's all right. They'll be playing. Well, they're playing Namibia in this thing, so he could get a lot of wickets during this group stage. So yeah, I think that one's pretty obvious. You got Namibia, Scotland, and Oman. What's the order you're going after Australia?
I'm going to go Scotland number 3. Yep. Your heritage.
Yeah. Richie Berrington, I think he's a good batsman. He's done really well at World Cups. Yeah.
Yep. Who's that? I don't know.
Yeah, he's their Scotland opening bat. He's a good batter.
And then Oman actually in 4th, followed by
the Cricket Cranes.
Namibia.
Why are you going the Cricket Cranes at 4?
I don't know. It's just go back to our cricket filter. I just got a feeling. I think they've showed a little bit more than Namibia in the warm-up matches, and they had a one-off season tournament. I can't remember. It was a bunch of random nations.
No, that's right.
The Netherlands played in that tournament as well.
They did really well in that.
Yeah, so I'm going to edge just Oman, and again, it's like a one-off game. Whoever wins in Namibia and Oman, I think, is going to finish.
Yep. Namibia and Scotland in a couple of World Cups ago made it out of the group stage, but their groups were a lot easier than these sort of groups.
Yeah,
there was a lot more groups.
Yeah, I think there were. What was it? There were more nations in a group.
Yes. Yeah, I think that was
like,
six. So
5.
it was the top 3, I think, and then
I think it was top 2, and then third was like a
wild card sort of thing.
Best third place finisher.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Something like that.
Yeah, but they did really well the last World Cup. That's why I'm edging them over Oman, who are very inexperienced. So that's my order there. All right, standout player for Group B.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't go this man. Because
I was leaving you for the Aussies.
He was standout player for like the whole tournament, wasn't he?
He was.
In our Big Nation preview.
I didn't want to talk too much about the Aussies, but yeah, I'm happy with him. Who you got?
I'm going to go Travis Head.
Trav Ball.
Freak. I think he finished top 3 in the IPL. I think he finished 3rd.
Yep.
Top
in the
run
runs.
scorers. He can win a game off his own bat, and he has. He did it in the ODI World Cup final against India.
Yep.
And he's more of a 2020 player. To be fair, is he more of a 2020 player than an ODI player?
Yeah, I'd say he is. I think if I was putting in order, even Tests, he's got a really good record. So would you put ODI last out of the 3 formats? I don't know.
If anything, I'd put ODI definitely up there.
Yeah.
Even number 1.
Yeah.
He can just do all 3 formats so well, and I just love his aggressive nature, opening the batting, instill some fear. So I'm going to go Travis Head, standout player.
I'm actually glad because I'm a Sunrise fan. Travis Head was the star for Sunrise throughout the whole season in the IPL. But I'm glad that Sunrise didn't win because he loves a sesh. Travis said he loves a big party. So I'm glad that we didn't win and he wasn't partying.
He's not hungover for the
start of the World Cup. So that's actually a positive. Stark is probably a bit more controlled, even though he won the IPL. He would be a bit more controlled and want to concentrate on the World Cup.
Stark's a little bit.
Travis Head would just be having a big party in India until I reckon he would just be going until crap, my flight has to get over to the West Indies.
Over the Caribbean.
Yeah. Anyway, my standout player. I'll stay away from the Aussies for a little bit. Adil Rashid. I think he's had an underrated career, absolute superstar for England. He's almost 37 now, and he's still dominating with his leggies.
Yeah, it's weird. Number 1.
Yeah, is he the number 1 ranked bowler still?
He's the number 1 ranked bowler in the world in 2020, by far as well.
That's awesome, yeah.
So behind Hasaranga.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In front of Hasaranga, sorry.
Yeah, in front of Hasaranga, who I think was the leading wicket taker a couple of World Cups ago. He's average, what's his average? 25 average. He's got a 7 economy rate, which is pretty solid. Anything around that 6-7 mark is really good in T20 cricket.
Format,
and I feel like he can get the most wickets in this tournament. You got the West Indies pitchers are known to be a bit slower. Spinners, I think, will do really well. Some of the pace bowlers, unless you've got a lot of change-ups, might not be able to get wickets. So that's the other thing about the Aussies.
Could Travis Head take a couple wickets as well?
Ooh, possibly. Well, Tim David in his big call said he's going to take a hat-trick, but I don't even think he's going to bowl every game.
If you haven't seen that video, check it out on the Cricket Australia social.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
But he's got the potential to, bowl a couple of overs, although I think, Tim David bowled against Namibia.
He's more of like an early opening sort of bowler because he was opening in the big bash. Zampa will have to carry the load with the spinning though.
Yeah, Glenn Maxwell bowl a couple overs, I assume. But you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Travis said, could get a couple. But I think, Adil Rashid's going to get a lot of wickets in this group.
Yeah.
Even he's had a decent record against Australia as well. So
I like that.
He's my standout player. All right, big call. What are you going for?
The Hoff.
The Hoff.
I love the Hoff.
Oh.
And I'm going to go with him to take 10 plus wickets in the group stage.
Hazelwood 10 plus? Just in the group stage?
Just in the group stage. Not
Okay.
even throughout the whole tournament, just in the group stage. This morning, I know, again, it's a warm-up match, but good signs, against Namibia, who are also in our group. He took 2 for none off his first 3 overs.
That's crazy.
He ended up with figures of
how they not getting edge
2 for 5,
or something?
I think.
2 for 5. Okay, wow.
4 with 3 maidens and a run out in there as well. But he's the 7th best 2020 ranked bowler in the world.
Yep.
And he dominated the IPL a couple seasons ago, if you remember that. So people think, he's very stock standard, hit the spot. which he is, it just works in all formats.
It does.
You just put it on the stumps. You're going to get some wickets. You put it in good areas. You're going to get some nicks. And I think he's got the potential to be one of the best Australian bowlers, even though we do have Pat Cummins and Mitch Starc.
We do underrate, I think, Hazelwood a little bit.
I think his whole career has gone underrated. I think he's probably, I think he's the second best behind Pat Cummins. 100%.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
I think Stark's a worse test bowler than Hazelwood, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And then in 2020s, you're taking Hazelwood for this one as well. 10 plus wickets.
I'm even going to go in this tournament. I think Hazelwood is going to shine.
Be more, okay, don't mind that.
10 plus wickets.
Big call. I'm going to go big call. I did talk up England a little bit with Adil Rashid, but I'm talking them down again, which you were like. Oof. England won't make it out of the Super 8, which is the quarters.
Yeah.
Can
we talk about the Super 8 for a second?
The Super 8 is so confusing.
I know. What is it?
It's literally, so it goes by seeds. So Australia will be B2, no matter if they finish Group B1.
Yeah.
It is very confusing.
No matter if Australia top the group, they will no matter what, be seeded as the second place team.
Yeah, it goes by seeds and not where you finish in the group. I don't know what ICC has done with that. Yeah, maybe look into that. What are you doing?
So if you don't know, if you're listening, the group stage, we've got the group stage with the 5 nations. First initial group
4
stages.
groups, yeah, 20 teams, yeah.
And then the top 2 from each group progress into another group stage of 2 groups. Of
the Super 8, yeah.
The Super 8.
Very confusing.
Very confusing. And then the top 2 teams out of that play in the semi-finals.
I think it's just their way of trying to get more money, like more games. You do not need 2 group stages in any World Cup of anything.
They're trying to get more,
more eyeballs, I don't know.
Yeah, more. I don't know what I'm doing here, but more of the big nations clashing against each other. So some more marquee sort of games.
Possibly, but it's going to go for so long. Yeah.
Super weird.
Actually, I don't care about the length. It's more just a bit confusing.
Yeah, I love seeing cricket, but I don't think that's a necessity. And I think if just reward. So what's the point of rewarding a team for topping the group stage when they're not going to be topped as the seeded team?
It is weird. It is very weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get
to Super 8. England, I don't think they're going to make it past that. I genuinely think the likes of West Indies, South Africa, and a few other teams were in better form. And I don't know. I think there's a few teams that will surprise some people, even though England are up there in the favourite. I don't think they should be in the top 3 favourites, England.
All of the Super 8 games are going to be played in the Caribbean.
Yes, which will genuinely help the West Indies so much. They know how to. They just go so strong with the bat. Try and hit sixes literally every ball.
In all fairness, they could even help England as well because their group stage is in the Caribbean. But I don't mind it.
England, I don't know, not to make it a Super 8.
England failing, love
just
it.
be funny.
Sorry,
and Johnny Bairstow to somehow walk out of his crease and cause a bit of controversy. There's no Lords there, so no one's backing him up.
Johnny Bairstow taking the headlines again.
maybe. All right, Group C, we've got New Zealand, West Indies, Afghanistan, Uganda, and PNG. Yeah. Bit of a tougher group. You got 3 teams in here that are ranked up there in the world.
Group.
Probably the most even group, you're right, I think. So who are we going top 2? I think we're going similar again, but this is a bit of a coin toss for second, I'd say.
Oh, 100%. I'm going New Zealand to top the group.
Yep.
I think we love some of the New Zealand players, don't we?
Yeah. Ratchet Ravindra. We're so excited.
And then purely because of the home nation sort of factor, I'm going to go the West Indies to sneak into second.
Ooh.
Although Afghanistan...
They're a good T20 team as well,
They have the potential to finish in the top 2. Honestly, I think this top 3... could go any which way.
Could go anyway. I'm going to agree with you on that one. New Zealand and West Indies. I think West Indies will even push for the top. I think that West Indies-New Zealand match will be actually really close. In the past, West Indies have been horrible at...
didn't even make the last
last World Cup, but they've got actually won 2 World Cups themselves. So 2020 is their main format. They've got so many guys that travel around the world and play this format over anything else.
Get paid ridiculous amounts of money.
And they've got the experience now that I think the likes of Dre Russ just can... I thought he was done. And then in the IPL, he showed that he was still awesome, still a great all-rounder. So that type of all-rounder you need. And then at home, you got the home support, the home pitches, which they know. They've got a lot of guys that can change their pace on these pitches.
Yep.
So actually, I'm going to change it. I'm changing mine, my top 2. I'm putting West Indies first.
West Indies 1.
New Zealand number 2. I'm going that.
Well, you know what happens when you get individual X-factor players from the West Indies and you put them together in one team? It's either going to go horribly wrong or they're going to
win the whole thing.
Great. It's going to go superb. And I think it could actually go... outstanding.
All right, I'm going West Indies to top the group. New Zealand fans might not be happy with that.
Whatever happened to Spiceman? Was he
true.
Was he playing in...
no. What happened to him?
If you don't know, he played for the Melbourne Stars.
Melbourne Stars,
was known for his celebrations.
Yeah.
So if you haven't searched him
What
up,
was
search
his
him
name
up. He
again?
had the long dreadlocks. He died.
Andre Fletcher.
Andre Fletcher.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah,
he was a beast. Yeah.
Yeah, he took a couple of screamers, I remember, in the Big Bash, but I don't know. They just got that X factor about them, and it's been a while since some great cricketing nations have gone to the West Indies, or even they've even held a tournament.
Yep.
So I think definitely the people
They'll be up and about for it.
in the Caribbean will get around it.
Yep. All right. So we're going New Zealand, West Indies, and then I'm going West Indies, New Zealand top 2. Afghanistan, I think we're both agreeing, as you mentioned.
Third.
They've got a really good just T20 depth. I think if they were in another group, they might finish second, maybe in Group D, which we'll touch on. So they're probably unlucky they're in this group. And then I've got PNG and Uganda after that. I talked up PNG because I think they did really well at one of the tournaments, but Uganda won one of the African Cups, so they're not too bad as well. Is that what you got?
Yeah, I've gone the same order as you. I think again, just in the warm-up games, I think Papua New Guinea have played against more established cricket nations.
Yeah, so they'll be more used to
in Oman.
Yep.
They've played against Namibia. They've played against Nepal, who are all in this tournament.
Yep.
Whereas Uganda have really only played African nations.
Uganda did beat
Kenya.
South Africa once, but that was like the South African C team. They didn't have any of their like star players South Africa playing. But that was a pretty crazy upset. So
so Uganda, they have played Namibia, but a lot of the nations that they've played have been like Ghana, Kenya, Botswana,
not even in the tournament.
Rwanda.
Yeah.
Not even in the tournament. Not even getting anywhere near the tournament.
Yeah, so hopefully, awesome that they're here. We've got 20 countries now, but hopefully they can try and get a win. That's the aim.
I'll be like, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see them play. I got a soft spot for Uganda.
You got a soft spot for Uganda? Okay. What was their nickname again? I'm trying to remember.
Were they the Cranes?
Maybe they were the cricket cranes, and I've stuffed that up.
because they got the crane on their
their flag. Yeah, sorry, the Ugandan cricket cranes. That's it. There we go. I'll have to remember that one. Yeah, nice. All right, standout player. Who you going?
I'm going to go Finn Allen.
Ooh.
I think he's gone a little bit under the radar into the lead up of this tournament because he was great against Australia in the 2020 series. He's just a great 2020 player in general. And I'll get to him in my big call. I might as well just say it now. My big call is Finn Allen related.
Yep.
He's going to be the top run scorer after the group stage out of
any team in the group stage. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a big call. Wow.
So at the conclusion of the group stage, Finn Allen will be a top run scorer because I think he can score absolute bag of runs against PNG, Uganda, even the likes of the West Indies.
Well, that's the thing. West Indies, I am talking them up, but their bowling is where it sort of lets them down. They do have wicket takers, but guys that go for a lot of runs.
Do they have good enough spinners? Whereas I feel like the West Indies have a lot of great...
Motzi? Or is it Coatsy? I can't remember his name. Coatsy, yeah, he's a decent spinner. Yeah, you're right. They need to probably are a little bit worried in the bowling sense. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So Finn Allen can dominate that group stage.
I think he can. He's got the potential to. So that's my big call.
Don't mind that. I'm going Cricket Today's. What is he? Prodigal son. I was trying to figure out how to say that.
It was the person that he was our big break.
He was. He grew
Joseph.
Cricket Today. So thank you very much, Shamar Joseph. I think he's going to light up this tournament. Obviously got injuries against Australia in the tests, but it was dominating even on one leg against Australia. He was amazing. His ability just to bowl quick, scare opponents, and then just bowl consistently at the stumps, I think is going to scare a lot of these teams.
He was the first time in many years you sort of felt an affiliation with the West Indies in Test cricket.
Yeah.
So
I think everyone in the world
to him, and he's got a great story of how he came into the game.
Yeah, he wasn't even playing cricket a year before his debut, right?
Yeah, he didn't even
he didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, pretty much. He wasn't playing cricket. He was. I can't even remember the story off the top of my head, but check it out.
His neighbour, that's what it was. His neighbour introduced him to cricket because he's like, this guy looks like he'd be good at cricket, and then he got into it. So awesome effort by Shamar Joseph just to even get to this point. But I think he's going to be the X factor if he can get a couple of wickets every game, like you said about Hazelwood, and get that 10+ wickets in the group. Group stage, then they're going to progress out of this group pretty easily, I think so. Because Alzari Joseph, they sort of relied on in the past, but he just doesn't get enough wickets. I think at times he can, can get wickets, but he's not going to get enough, I think. So Shamar Joseph.
He's another one of those that's probably too quick to be good in the short format.
It needs to be a bit more
anything
accurate.
Anything off the bat, it can fly the rope.
Yep. Then my big call, I'm just going to roll straight into that. Windies will be the most exciting team to watch. I saw you can bet on this. They will hit the most sixes of any team. I think they're the favourite of that for that market.
Yeah, okay.
Their top three.
I'll double check
actually. I didn't even mention this. They just beat South Africa in 3 straight 2020s. In this little tournament they had in the build-up. South Africa weren't full strength, but Windies absolutely smashed them, and their top 3 for each of the matches were hitting 4 sixes each. So I think it's going to be so exciting on these grounds. They know exactly where the little small pockets are of each ground, and the Windies are going to be very, very exciting to watch, I think. So watch this space for their few matches. Yeah.
I'm trying to have a look here.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of group winners, but top nation wicket takers.
Yeah.
We'll get to Group D and I'll tell you once.
All right. So, Group D is the last group we're going to cover. South Africa, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, and the Netherlands. We did say Group C was pretty even. This is also a pretty even group just because some of the teams aren't in the best form. Who are you going? Your top two? Or I can start that off if you want.
Yeah, go on.
I'll start off. All right. South Africa and Sri Lanka. Leo talked up Sri Lanka for some reason, saying they're going to go so well. They're going to progress through the tournament. I don't think they're going to be that good. But I think just the experience of the likes of Hasaranga and a few of their batsmen that can go at a decent rate in their top six, I think they're going to be second. South Africa as well. You got who have you got? Markram, who's an awesome batsman. I think he's the captain of this South African team. You got Rabada, you got Nortje. The only thing I'm worried about is the guys that can change the pace and get wickets that way in the West Indies. But I think South Africa are going to top this group, and I think South Africa have the easiest group out of any group that we've gone through so far, because
100%.
I don't like. It was very hard to pick second. Usually, it's very hard to pick third or things like that. But it was hard to pick
two
second.
Teams vying. Two nations vying for that second spot. Whereas
South Africa, I think, are going to dominate against all of these teams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go South Africa number 1. And did you say you're number 2 as well?
Yeah, I said Sri Lanka. Yeah.
Oh, that's not who I'm going to go.
That's a bit obvious, but you're not going obvious. Who are you going?
I'm going to go the Netherlands.
Oh,
Dutch.
Wow.
Why not?
Why not? They haven't made it out of a group stage before, I don't think. But
Sri Lanka haven't made it out of the group stage for 11 years now.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm going to go the Netherlands, and I'm going to go Sri Lanka with a bit of a flop. So that's going to be my big call, actually. We'll go straight to big call.
All right, we'll go big call, and then we'll do standout play
Netherlands
after.
to progress, which is my big call.
Yep.
They're going to finish second. And Sri Lanka, once I get through my group order, they're going to finish second last.
Okay, go through your group order then.
South Africa, number 1.
Yep.
Netherlands, number 2. Bangladesh, number 3. Sri Lanka, number 4.
Oh, below Bangladesh. That's
5.
harsh.
Yeah. I truly believe Bangladesh can do it.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of Sri Lanka fans coming after you in a second. Leo might be coming after. He said Sri Lanka could top this group. I don't know. I think he went a bit psycho with that. I'm going to go South Africa, Sri Lanka, I said before.
Yep.
Netherlands, I do think they will push because they've got a lot of good bowlers. Their top order actually is pretty good, and they have experience at World Cups. They've been in the last 2 or 3 World Cups. And then I'm going to go Bangladesh and Nepal. I'm changing that. I'm putting Bangladesh to finish last in this group is my big call. They have been deplorable. You got Shakib.
No.
They lost 2 games in a row to USA, who have only played a couple of cricket games in their whole entire existence. How do you lose to USA as Bangladesh?
To be fair, the USA did have a lot of, third generation American.
That's true. Yeah. But still, we've put USA second last or last in their group, and Bangladesh are losing them.
They did beat the US in the third 2020.
Oh, anyway,
they have beaten Zimbabwe in a lot of games.
Zimbabwe aren't even in the World Cup.
Sri Lanka actually played Bangladesh, and Bangladesh in the 2020 series. Bangladesh got on top of Sri Lanka in one game. Also scored 203 runs. Did lose that game.
I don't know. I'm probably being harsh, but just the form leading into the tournament, Bangladesh are going to be so sad, and just I don't think they're going to do too well. So I'm going to put them last.
Bangladesh drew a 2020 series against New Zealand before the Sri Lanka series.
Did they? Oh. Yeah. Anyway, it's a big call for a reason. That's why I'm putting them last. I don't know. Just their confidence leading into this tournament is going to be shot. They've lost some horrible games. And then Nepal as well did beat them once and had some close games this time last year. So I know Nepal aren't going to go too well either, but I'm just going to say Bangladesh last because I think other teams have a bit more confidence.
Yeah, well, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh that's their first games of the group stage.
Oh, okay. So we'll see.
It could lean on that game.
We will see where both teams are at. Sri Lanka smash Bangladesh, then you're like, okay, they should make it out of the group stage. If Bangladesh somehow win, maybe we've underrated Bangladesh.
Well, actually, no. I think Netherlands will get out either way, no matter the
result. Okay. There we go. All right, standout player. Who you going?
Standout player. I'm going to go Michael Levitt of the Netherlands.
I don't know this guy.
He's an opening bat.
Okay.
And he's in some great form. I'll tell you what, stats guy. Not only you think of these lower nations and you're like they struggle to reach the strike rate of the better nations batters.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has a strike rate of like 150 plus almost every game.
Really?
And he's making 40 odds. He's making 50 odds, 60 odds.
Perfect.
So recently he made 40 odd off about 23 balls. He was the player of the series, I believe, in that one-off tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been great, and he can also do a shift with the ball. He's bowled a couple overs.
Oh, he just does everything.
He got 2 for as well.
I like it.
So Michael Levitt is going to be my I wouldn't say standout play, but he's one most.
You're excited to watch. Okay, I don't mind that. I'm gonna same sort of vibe. Ones to watch. Standout player Tristan Stubbs We talked him up in the IPL. He was amazing. His strike rate, he literally goes from ball one, a bit like Jake Fraser-McGurk should be in the side. That's another argument for the Aussies. He's awesome. I'm just going to have a quick look at his strike rate. His strike rate in the IPL career is 174. Wow. And then his strike rate in T20 International is 156.
And he's only 23.
And he's only 23. My age. Yeah, exactly. So what are you doing, mate?
I'm actually younger than him just.
Oh, there you go. So you still have a chance of playing for Australia.
I've still got I can make it in the big time.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I'll play for the Italian national
team. Yeah, Joe Burns is doing that. We haven't talked.
Is he actually? I didn't hear about that.
Oh, there you go. That's another one.
Joe Burns is not a very Italian name, is it?
No, it's definitely not. Yeah, what? You might have to change his name. No, his brother passed away, and his whole family sort of got together and were talking about their past. And he's Italian. His mum's Italian, and that. So he's like, in honor of his brother, he's going to play for the Italian national side and try and get them to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. I forgot to talk about that. Actually, that's pretty cool. So you could play for Italy with Joe Burns.
I could. Yep.
Do you reckon, I wonder what the standard of the anyway. We're getting distracted. They're not even in the World Cup, but maybe at the next World Cup that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Stubbsy. He's been awesome. 37 average in IPL. Just really, I didn't really know who he was, and then he dominated the IPL. Has had a solid start to his T20 international career, and one of those guys in that middle order for South Africa that could decide if they get a 200+ score in the tournament. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's my standout player. All right, I think we've covered all the groups there. We've done pretty well. Well done, Marcus. Yeah, we smashed it. That's Stumps for the Cricket Today show. We'll be back with this show. We'll go next week. The start of the World Cup is this weekend, so we're very excited for that. And then it's going to be a huge tournament. So get right around the show. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the like button. Thank you very much. Send any questions. Thanks to Homie behind the camera. Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you, Seska.
Thank you, for Homie for producing. Thanks to me. And that's another episode of Today.
If you like this show, make sure you check out all the other shows on the Sports Today network, from the AFL Today show to the Cricket Today podcast, the Football Today podcast, as well as NBA Australia and NFL Australia. With Sports Today, your sporting needs have never been easier to cover.